Did you know that one of the easiest vegetables to grow actually makes the soil healthier for the next crop? Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Wonderfully Made Science, where we explore the amazing science behind God's designs. Today we're talking about one of the easiest vegetables that you can grow, green beans, and the incredible design hidden beneath the soil. Green beans are one of the simplest, most rewarding vegetables you can grow in your garden. And I'm not just talking about how deliciously sweet and crispy they are. I mean, there's other real reasons that you might want to try growing them. Whether you're a seasoned gardener who's been doing it for decades, or if you've never really attempted to garden yet. So let's talk about those three reasons. Why green beans are worth growing, how to actually grow them and the science behind it, and how even extraordinary green beans can remind us of extraordinary biblical truths. Stick with me to the end because I think you'll see green beans a little differently. Why green beans? Well, let's start simple. Green beans are one of the easiest, most dependable vegetables you can grow in a place like here, Missouri. You plant them right after the last frost, and before you know it, you've got vines or bushes loaded with green beans. Here's why people love them. They grow fast. Some varieties are ready in about 50 to 60 days. They don't need complicated care. They produce a lot in a small space. And they are incredibly forgiving for beginners. So if you want something that builds confidence in the garden, green beans are it. Even better, they fit right into that rhythm of spring planting and summer harvesting, where you actually see your efforts turn into food on the table. Now let's talk about how to grow them and what's actually going on behind the scenes in the soil and the plant. Step one is planting. Green beans go directly into the ground after the danger of frost passes. They don't like to be transplanted. You plant the seed about an inch deep in warm soil, and within a week or so, it germinates. And here's the first science piece. Inside that seed is a tiny embryo plant, plus stored energy or starch. When moisture and warmth hit it, enzymes activate, and the plant literally begins converting stored food into growth. It's one of the simplest but most beautiful examples of life starting from within. Step 2. Growth and photosynthesis. Once the plant breaks the surface, it starts doing something amazing: photosynthesis. It takes sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water from the soil, and it converts them into glucose or plant energy and oxygen. So every green bean in your garden is basically a tiny solar powered food factory. Here's where green beans get really interesting scientifically. Green beans are part of the legume family, which means they have a relationship with special bacteria in the soil called rhizobium. These bacteria live in little nodules on the roots, and they do something incredible. They take nitrogen from the air in the soil and they convert it into a form that the plant can use. That's called nitrogen fixation. In simple terms, the plant is literally partnering with microbes underground to fertilize itself. That's why green beans often grow so well, even in soil that isn't perfect. And it's also why green beans help improve soil health for future crops. Step 4. Flowering and beans. After the plant grows strong, it produces flowers. Those flowers are pollinated, and then the plant begins forming pods, or the green beans that we eat. Here's something cool. Each bean pod is actually a seed container that's designed to protect and reproduce future plants. So when you harvest green beans, you're stepping right into the middle of a cycle of reproduction and renewal. Now let's zoom out for a second. Why not just buy green beans at the store? Well, here's what you gain when you grow them yourself. You know exactly how they were grown. They taste better. Fresh picked green beans are sweeter and crispier. You reduce food miles and packaging waste. And there's something grounding about working with the soil and watching life grow. But there's also something deeper going on. Gardening slows us down. It reminds us that growth takes time, consistency, and patience. And that brings me to something I think fits beautifully here. Green beans may be simple, but they point us to three bigger truths. Genesis 1:29. I have given you every seed-bearing plant. They will be yours for food. Right from the beginning, plants were designed as provision. Seeds aren't random. They are part of a system of care and sustainability built into creation. Psalms 104:14. He makes grass grow for the cattle and plants for people to cultivate, bringing forth food from the earth. This verse captures something we often miss. We don't just take from the earth, we participate in what's already being provided. Gardening is a partnership, not control. Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest. If you've ever waited on a garden, you know this is true in a very real way. You plant, you water, you wait. And eventually, if you keep going, you harvest. That's not just gardening wisdom, that's life wisdom. So if you've never tried to grow green beans before, I really encourage you to try it. Start small, maybe a few plants, a small row, or even just in containers. Because what you'll learn is not just how to grow a vegetable. You'll learn how life began from something small, how unseen systems in the soil work together, and how patience can turn into abundance. Honestly, you might find it's not just your garden that grows. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions or a favorite way to grow your green beans, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'll see you next time as we continue discovering the amazing designs found in God's creation.